From shock transfers to secret midnight deals, the Premier League has seen its fair share of betrayals, but which one hurt the most? Arsenal fans will tell you. Robin van Persie's betrayal. The Flying Dutchman arrived at Arsenal in 2004 as a winger, but Arsène Wenger saw something more. Just like Thierry Henry before him, Van Persie was transformed into a lethal center forward. He started as Henry's understudy, but when the legend left for Barcelona, Van Persie stepped up as Arsenal's main striker. He quickly became Arsenal's most important player, earning the vice-captaincy in 2010. And when Cesc Fabregas left for Barcelona the following year, Van Persie was handed the captain's armband. Then came that season, 30 goals, Premier League, Golden Boot. Arsenal's third highest scorer of all time with 132 goals. But despite all the personal glory, something was missing. Van Persie wasn't satisfied. In July 2012, he dropped a bombshell. He wouldn't sign a new contract with Arsenal, shattering the hearts of Gunners fans. But the worst was yet to come. Just a month later, Manchester United announced they had signed him. The same fans who adored him now felt betrayed. Some accused him of chasing money after his best-ever season. And to make it worse, in his first interviews at United, he didn't hold back. "I always wanted to join Manchester United. It was my childhood dream." That was it. Arsenal fans were done. Van Persie shirts were burned, his name erased from club memories, and his once great legacy turned to dust. But if Arsenal fans thought Van Persie's move was the ultimate betrayal, his teammate took it to a whole new level. Signed by Arsenal in 2006, Adebayor was once a fan favorite, even earning the nickname Baby Kanu because of his resemblance to club legend Nwankwo Kanu. But when he left for the newly rich Manchester City, Arsenal fans were furious. They felt abandoned by a player they once adored. However, what happened next turned frustration into pure hatred. In his first game versus Arsenal, Adebayor scored and then sprinted the full length of the pitch to celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans with a dramatic knee slide. The provocation was unforgettable, leaving Arsenal supporters enraged. But that wasn't all. His former teammate, Robin van Persie, accused him of deliberately kicking him in the face. He was handed a 3-match ban for violent conduct, and even his former Arsenal friends turned against him. Alex Song, once one of his closest allies, claimed Adebayor slapped him in the face during the match, while Cesc Fabregas believed he had tried to stamp on him. If Adebayor's betrayal was bad, imagine a homegrown star secretly meeting with his club's rivals, then forcing a move. A product of the club's youth system, Ashley Cole broke into the first team at 18 and quickly became one of the best left-backs in the world. Cole played a key role in Arsenal's golden era, winning 2 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, and cementing his legacy as part of the legendary Invincibles squad that went an entire league season unbeaten. He even helped Arsenal reach their first ever Champions League final in 2006. But while his career soared, controversy was brewing behind the scenes. In 2005, Cole was caught secretly meeting with Chelsea without Arsenal's permission. The fallout was massive. He was fined £100,000, Chelsea had to pay £300,000, and even Jose Mourinho was hit with a £75,000 fine. Despite the scandal, Cole signed a contract extension with Arsenal, but just a year later, he left the club in one of the most dramatic transfers in Premier League history. The move dragged on for the entire summer, with Arsenal refusing to budge from their £25 million valuation, while Mourinho insisted he wouldn't pay more than £16.5 million. The standoff lasted until the final day of the transfer window, when, just before midnight, Ashley Cole officially became a Chelsea player. Arsenal fans never forgave him. They called him Cashley and waved fake £20 notes with his face on them when he returned to face his former club. Years later, Cole admitted he felt disrespected by Arsenal, saying, "I gave my all to Arsenal and was honest while I was there, but for many fans, that wasn't enough." Like Adebayor, celebrating against his former team was also what caused hatred towards the next player. Signed in 2020 for £71 million, Kai Havertz became Chelsea's second most expensive signing. His biggest moment came in the 2021 UEFA Champions League final. where he scored the only goal of the game, his first ever goal in the competition, securing Chelsea's second Champions League title. He followed it up by winning the UEFA Super Cup and later netting a decisive penalty in the FIFA Club World Cup final. But despite his knack for scoring in crucial moments, Havertz struggled to cement his place at Chelsea. No manager could truly define his best position, and he managed just 19 Premier League goals in 3 seasons. A move to Arsenal followed, benefiting both sides. Havertz got a fresh start, and Chelsea recouped a significant portion of their investment. However, any goodwill between Havertz and Chelsea fans vanished when he faced his former club. He scored twice, but it wasn't about the goals, but the way he celebrated that ignited fury among the Chelsea faithful. He didn't stop there. Later, in an interview, he claimed winning the Champions League with Arsenal would mean more than it did with Chelsea. Given how Arsenal players on this list have fared, perhaps he should rethink that. Tensions escalated even further when Arsenal faced Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Thinking he had scored, Havertz performed a shush celebration aimed at Chelsea fans, only for VAR to disallow the goal. Chelsea players wasted no time letting him know how they also felt about him. He was bullied by every Chelsea player who got the chance to do so. I'm sure we will enjoy this hate affair for a while. Havertz's behavior may have been controversial, but what about a transfer so shocking that secret meetings had to be held far outside the city under the cover of night? Campbell was a towering central defender who rose through the ranks at Tottenham, becoming a key player and eventually club captain. Over 10 phenomenal years, he built an unbreakable bond with the team and was a near impenetrable wall in defense. Tottenham officials knew keeping such a talented player would be difficult. European giants like Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Bayern Munich were all interested in signing him. As his contract neared its end, the media pressed him on his future. He reassured Spurs fans with a firm declaration: "The rivalry between the two clubs is legendary, and it gets bigger and stronger every season. Results in these fixtures can affect some supporters' seasons. I think it would upset all the Spurs fans if I went to Arsenal, not that I am going to." After a strong run of 7 consecutive wins, another journalist asked directly,
"Will you be staying at Tottenham?"
I'm staying.
That statement rekindled hope among the fans, many of whom had already resigned themselves to his departure. But just weeks later, Campbell refused to renew his contract. He had options abroad, but instead, he began considering a move to Spurs' eternal rivals, Arsenal. To keep the negotiations secret, Campbell held a series of meetings with Arsenal officials far from the city, avoiding the media at all costs. Eventually, they reached an agreement, a free transfer. Tottenham's management was furious. Not only had they lost their best defender, but they wouldn't even receive a transfer fee. It was the pre-Fabrizio Romano era, so when Arsenal suddenly called an extraordinary press conference, the football world was stunned. Spurs fans erupted in outrage. His first return to White Hart Lane was deafening. Boos rained down from every corner of the stadium. Banners displayed the infamous biblical betrayal, and the hostility never faded. For years, Campbell couldn't walk freely in London. He avoided certain restaurants, certain streets. Tottenham fans made sure of it. To this day, forgiveness remains out of reach.